Hey everybody, my name is Rob Woodbridge from Untethered.tv. What you're about to see here is a short clip of a much longer episode. It can be found on Untethered.tv. So if you really are interested in this, go to Untethered.tv, do a search for this title, and you'll find it there. But enjoy this short clip. About what Misfit is and what the Shine is, and then I promise we won't talk about you ever again.
Great. Thanks so much. Thank you for this opportunity. Misfit, we are about making great wearable computing products. And so for the first few products that we're developing, primarily in the sensor space for wellness and fitness applications. So our very first product, actually, product number one was supposed to be a different product, and it's something that we'll be releasing next year. We've been calling it the Mars Project. It's not what we're going to call it when we launch it. It may seem like alien technology, who knows, but we're really excited about it. But Shine was something that we were just opportunistic about. We just saw how this market was taking off, how people were excited about this space. Fitness tracking, great. So we threw our hat into the ring, and our approach was a little different. So we wanted to make sure that people were interested in what we were doing. So we did a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo, our favorite platform. They were so good to us, and they really were a key part to making us successful with our campaign. We launched Shine on it. We just had a rendering and a model, and we wanted to see if people wanted to buy it before we made it. And so we had a prototype, and it worked out pretty well. We hit our goals really quickly. $100,000 was what we set out to raise. It wasn't so much just because of the money, because we're actually venture backed. We raised money actually 6 months prior to the campaign. But we wanted to see if people actually wanted it, and understand why is it that people want these products. And anyways, we hit our campaign goals, $100,000 within 9.5 hours. It was the fastest Indiegogo campaign in history at the time. And we were blown away because we didn't hire any PR firms. We were tiny. We were a starving startup, right? So, and so we thought, okay, this is interesting. I think we should probably make it. It seems like the world is saying they want it. So, okay, let's do it.
I think we should probably make it. How much did you end up raising through
We got $850,000
over 30 days? Is that what that was?
It was over. I think it was eight weeks total. So it was
total.
just a full campaign where, yeah. So it was a lot of fun. We really had fun doing it, and we learned a lot.
Did you use Indiegogo, because you're funded, right? Did you use Indiegogo as kind of was it really about validating the idea?
It really was. It really was, because we had raised $7.6 million just 6 months before that. So it wasn't just about the cash. We really wanted to see. We've been in. I'm sure there are a lot of startup people out there who've been in situations where they've thought, "Oh, let's make this. I'm sure people will buy it."
Yes,
right.
I've been a part of a couple of those.
And it's like, well, it doesn't quite turn out the way we think. Well, let's avoid that. Let's go ahead and sell it. Let's put it out there first to see what people think, and then let's figure out whether we want to make it or not.
So how did you raise that much money without really? It sounds like without really having an idea of a product, or was it? You put that product down beforehand?
Yeah. So we actually were working on Mars, and we were talking about the Mars project. That's what got people excited. And then in a way, it's weird. We've kind of pivoted away from Mars, and decided, we branched because we decided, well, let's hang on to Mars for a second. I don't know if we'll ever do it, but Shine, let's see if people are interested in that, because that trend seems really real. So it was kind of weird because we raised money, and then 6 months later, we branched from that objective. But our investors seemed really cool about it, very supportive. So we're like, all right, if you're cool with it, then we want to do it. So let's do it.
Those are the best investors ever.
Oh, they're amazing. The folks at Khosla, the folks at Founders Fund, they've been incredible to us.
So, how long did it take you guys to decide on this and go from an idea to a product?
So Napkin Sketch was September. Prototypes and it was more mock-ups in November. Basically a 2-month campaign, which we ended middle of January, and by then we're like, okay, we're definitely doing this. We're definitely doing this. So we camp out and work until, and we were trying to launch in March, end of March, which was pretty ambitious.
Come on.
And then, yeah, I know, it's pretty fast, right? And then, well, we were working on it before. We were working on it probably, well, since November, right? And then we were late, so we tried to ship in June, and then we ended up shipping in July.
Yeah.
So we were ended up being about 3 months late, but it was fine. But so from start to finish, about 9 months.
Let me ask you this. You know, a lot of people do the crowdfunding model, and they do what you do, right? Maybe they don't have the funding, which is the big thing behind it, but they'll say, like, we're going to raise $100,000, and then they actually achieve their goal, and it's not investment, it's pre-sales, right? So you ultimately have to ship the product.
Yeah.
You know, I've talked to a bunch of guys that say, like, you know, we raised 100,000 and we went over. We raised like 220,000, and had we not raised $220,000, we would have gone bankrupt because we couldn't afford to actually ship the product that we promised for raising $100,000. So when you went through this process, even with $800,000, like, was that enough to build this, manufacture this, ship it? No, it wasn't.
No, definitely. Even that was not enough. I mean, and the thing is, we've done hardware for a long time. We've been doing it for the last 12 years. We've shipped 15 hardware products.
So you know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I think we had a good idea, although we'd never made a metal product. I mean, this is made of solid metal. It's carved out of a piece of aircraft-grade aluminum. And so that we didn't know. If it was plastic injection molded, like pretty much every other consumer electronic device out there, then that would be a different matter. But this is a CNC, it's carved.
Yeah.
There's no mold involved here. We're not pouring liquid metal into a mold and then pressing it and then having a bunch of people put circuit boards in it. That's not what. If it was that way, then life would have been way easier. But it's not. So we struggled. Yeah, it was tough.